covers. There were vloggers that I watched.
Right now.
Really? Really? What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys had an awesome Pride. I know I did. Figured I'd keep on going and make some more videos, and here we are. Today I'm gonna talk about how I started YouTubing, why I started YouTubing kinda, and like some tips to people that wanna start YouTubing. I get asked this a lot, so. You know, there's a lot of videos about this on the internet, and I'm just gonna share with you my thoughts on it. Take it with a grain of salt, everybody's different. Okay, so before I start on that, I wanted to say that this video is sponsored. I'm so lucky, again, to be having people reach out to me to sponsor, and this one's pretty applicable. In alignment with my Never Stop Learning mantra that I've associated with my YouTube, I was reached out to by Skillshare. And Skillshare is an online learning community. It's kind of like classes online. I think there's more than 15,000 classes that range from business to design, all kinds of things you can learn about. What's really cool too, what I like about it is that I can download the app onto my phone, and I have it here, the Skillshare app, and you can go online, have a couple of classes saved, and just listen to somebody teach you something about a class. So for example, I have always wanted to be a video game designer. I think that's really cool. And there are classes on here that are teaching the basics and intro classes to video game design and graphic design. So when I have some free time, maybe I'm driving to work, something like that, I can actually just listen to what they have to say and how they have to say it. And there's all kinds of classes. I've bookmarked a ton about business productivity and even YouTube stuff there's on there, so kind of applicable to this video even. So I think it's cool that I can go on there and pick something and just kind of educate myself and never stop learning, which kind of goes along with what I have to say. So when they reached out to me, it was kind of a no-brainer that this is something that I would share with you guys. And they gave me a trial membership of a couple months, so I've been using it for the last month, and I've used it so much just because it's so fun. If there's a day where I'm not feeling very productive, I'm just laying around, I pull that out and start learning a little bit, and I feel like I've actually done something with my day. Go to the link down in my YouTube description there, type in the code Andrew Goes Places, and you get 2 months for free. Give it a shot, see if you like it. I know that I'm gonna keep using it. It's something that kind of makes me feel more productive, but yeah, on to the video. So essentially I should describe how and why I started YouTubing to begin with. I don't know if I've talked about this in a video before, maybe. So back in like high school, college, even optometry school, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, ranging from things like how-tos to YouTube covers of music to vloggers and lifestyle channels and everything. I've watched so much YouTube video. And I used to follow some vloggers that I really looked up to, like Joey Gruseppa. I thought he was so funny, Connor Franta, Mark Miller. So I had seen and followed them for a couple of years, and just it was like a show for me, and I loved it. I thought the editing was really cool, and I thought, maybe one day it'd be cool to try it, but my life just isn't that interesting. When I was in college, stuff like that, I was sitting around playing video games all day, every day. I didn't think anybody would watch any of it just because I didn't think it was applicable to anybody's lives. So one day I was in optometry school, and I realized that I had been traveling a lot, and I had a viewpoint from the gay perspective of an optometrist or an optometry student, a professional student. I had all of these things that I was going through that I was like, hey, it might be cool to share these experiences. So I was like, okay, maybe now I'll start doing it. I pretty much just thought, what's the harm? What's gonna happen? No one's gonna watch it. And then I thought, if I could affect one person or help one person in some way, then it's worth it. I got to learn a little bit about social media and YouTube, and then I got to help somebody, and so then I could stop if that's what I wanted to do. But I wanted to affect one person. So I sat down and planned it all out. I decided what my channel was kind of gonna be oriented around, what I wanted to do with my channel, and just tried to have a list of goals. And then came up with a name, the Andrew Goes Places, and checked to make sure it was available on all forms of social media and all the platforms. And then I actually wrote out a couple of video ideas. Eventually, in the next week or so, I went ahead and recorded those videos. I had this little camera right here. It's a cheap, think of this Canon PowerShot. I bought it on Craigslist for like $40, but we'll get there. And then I looked up some cheap video editing software. I was literally using YouTube, how to record YouTube videos. So I did iMovie, it was like 15 bucks. So literally I spent 55 bucks and had my setup there. And then watched some YouTube videos on how to make the iMovie videos and how to edit them. And they're super basic, super straightforward, they're awful. But who cares? So I recorded 3 videos, took a bunch of pictures and edited them for social media beforehand, and then one day I had it all planned and I released everything on one day off. I posted a YouTube video, posted a couple Instagram pictures, and shared it on Twitter and Facebook and just everything that I had, and used a ton of hashtags and everything like that, just trying to see if I could get anybody to notice. And that day I got like, 100 Instagram followers and like 10 YouTube subscribers and a couple of comments, like very encouraging, saying continue doing this, that kind of thing. That boosted my ego so much. I just plowed through and just kept making. Every day I was working on this. I was spending a couple of hours trying to come up with creative ideas and editing YouTube videos and going out and trying to do things just to make myself get out there and record YouTube videos. Pushing my comfort zone. Remember the first time I took a camera out in public, walking around like filming myself, I felt so dumb, but it pushed me out of my comfort zone. Yeah. Then I started with that expectation of one person, and I got so much love. I got a lot of positive comments. Obviously, you're gonna get negative comments. This video will get negative comments. That happens, you just have to look past it. So anyways, I thought this is working really well. And then I found out I was documenting my life. I realized that now I can go back and watch videos from a year and a half ago when I went on a hiking trip with my friend Brady or something like that. And it's like, I remember this, it's bringing back memories. Oh yeah, these goats came up and talked to us, oh my gosh. And so it's just cool to be able to document your life, show it to other people. Obviously it's edited, obviously it's not exactly like my life is, but as long as you're genuine, I feel like it's a good representation, you know? So anyway, that got me to where I am today, and now I realize that like I didn't even really need to be worried about whether or not what I'm doing is interesting or applicable to anybody else's life, but just doing something and showing people what you're doing. If you have anything to say, somebody's gonna watch it, you know? I mean, even if it's just for your own purposes, that's okay, who cares? If it's helping you, if you're having fun doing it, it doesn't matter if other people like it, just do it. So I love YouTube and I love video editing, and so I figured now I'll give you some tips. Yeah, tips, maybe things that I would have done differently or things that I think you should do. I guess my first tip is to get creative. You don't have to do anything that anybody else says, but if you want to do a video that somebody else did, do it. Put your own creative spin on it. That is called being creative. Just because it has a similar title or it's the same thing, but you're doing it your own way and you're the person doing it, that's being creative, all right? You're editing it, you're putting your effort into it. Yeah, it may not be your own original idea. You never said that you were doing that, but you're putting your own spin on things. Just be creative. Genuineness is pretty obvious. If you're pretending to be someone you're not, people are gonna know. Especially in this like vlogging scenario. Obviously, if you're Miranda Sings, or Colleen, pretend you're Miranda Sings, people know you're joking, okay? But when Colleen talks to the camera, she's being genuine. And that's important, is just to kind of be yourself if you're trying to be yourself. You don't need any crazy equipment or anything like that. I literally spent $40 on this camera, and you don't even need that. I think the new iPhone cameras are even better than this in 1080p. So if you have just a crappy smartphone or something like that, set it up, get yourself in some good lighting. The sun works really well. I use that during the day, although I do have extra lighting set up. So let me see if I can show you guys. Oh shoot. So I have like a ring light back behind my curtain there, if you can see it. I use that to just add an extra shade of light throwing in my direction here. But the sun is all I had for the first year, and it works really well. Honestly, just have to kind of plan your timing for recording. Don't get discouraged. It may take a while before anybody follows or does anything with your YouTube or your social media. Just stick with it. Just keep producing stuff, keep being yourself, keep making more content, and eventually somebody will pick up and watch it. You just have to find it. Be prepared for negativity. People will say things like, oh, like this isn't good, or somebody else already did this, or you know, they'll throw a lot of negativity at you. It's gonna happen. You just have to be ready to accept it and take that positively and just put a positive spin on it. My mom, the very first time I had somebody comment on my videos, it was like within the first week, somebody commented something very negative, and pretty much told me to give up and stuff like that. And I told my mom, and she said, you're doing well if you have haters. She was like, that means that you have somebody that is jealous of what you have already done. So keep going. As soon as you have a hater, you're doing something right. Yeah, so as far as the equipment I use now, I actually have a Canon G7X, which is a pretty nice camera. It's got the flip up screen so that I can see myself while I'm recording, which is really hard not to look at that. And then I use just this setup in here, which is my couch. I don't have any special place that I vlog. This is just an easy spot for me to talk. Like I said, I use a ring light there to do, and then I still use iMovie now to record or to edit my videos. I'm considering switching. I've got some other software that I could be using, but iMovie is just so easy for me to use. Finding music for my videos and stuff like that, I just go to YouTube's copyrighted music list, and you can Google that and then pull up and you can see all the different types of music you can use. For pictures and stuff like that that you overlay and stuff like that, you'll find, if you YouTube this, how to do it, you'll find that kind of stuff. But there are all kinds of websites that give free stuff like that. Thumbnails, all that kind of stuff's easy to make. There's all kinds of YouTube tutorials on exactly how to do that. You just kind of have to look up each individual thing and figure out how to do it. You make money off of YouTube videos too, and I didn't know that for a little while after I started making YouTube, but it's not worth it to just do it for the money, is what I would say. It's not gonna pay as much as a job is going to pay, so don't expect that, but it can help you. It can help you afford new equipment and stuff like that, which is pretty much what I use mine on. So a couple of things that I also like are, I have this like tripod thing, and my camera screws into the top there, and that way I can have something to kind of hold and stabilize, which helps a lot. I keep a 16GB memory card around with me pretty much at all times. I've got a backup battery that I use. I have a drone, which is crazy, that I sometimes use to record footage, but I haven't really been using it much recently. There are a lot of restrictions for flying drones out here. I don't use any fancy microphones or anything like that. I have a nicer camera that I could be using, but I haven't quite learned how to use it yet, so still in the process of that. So it's just kind of a learning process. You just need to learn the basics, camera, some easy video editing software, how to post it to actual YouTube, and then do that a couple times. You'll get that down, and then you start making tweaks. You're like, okay, now I want to add some lighting. So you look up some lighting that you could buy. Okay, now I want to do some more customized thumbnails, the little picture that you see on there whenever you're clicking on the YouTube video, or make playlists, and that's all stuff that you can learn on there. I hope this video is a little bit educational for you guys. If any of you want to start YouTubing, please do it, honestly. It's so much fun, and it's rewarding. It makes you get out and do things a lot of the time, and it makes you talk to people, which I think is really cool too. Made a lot of friends from this. New videos coming out soon. Be sure you check out all my social media. They're all linked down below. I'll see you guys in a couple of days, and remember, never stop learning. See you guys.